Alright, hello, welcome everyone to the Smash of the Day for this season, which is by far our largest season ever. We've got, just in Division 2, we've got more coaches than we've ever had before. 46 coaches, 6 of them returning for a humongous season of Blood Bowl. And joining us, we have Fritch and Ewan, who you will know from Brotherhood of the Bounce.
Hello.
And Emily is also here too, who you will know from her own Twitch channel, and the fact that she is what is your group, Emily? The Women in Blood Bowl group.
Oh, the Girls in Blood Bowl group.
Girls in Blood Bowl. Yep. So, yeah, welcome everyone. Before we kick off, before we go through all 46 teams, we just want to kind of go through a couple of quick things because I know we have a lot of new coaches. So, first of all, if you see an awesome play that's being streamed, please do clip it and pop it in the Epic Plays channel. Or indeed, if something crazy happened, like you rolled 5 ones in a row, just pop it in the Epic Plays channel and tag the Calamitous camera crew in it, and it will likely get featured in the Brotherhood of the Bounce videos. And I think, is there anything else that you guys want to bring up while we've got a captive audience?
If you have a stream, a Twitch stream or something like that you want to use to stream your game, then by all means do it. You don't have to use one of our streams, although we will try and capture as many games as possible.
Yep, and feel free to post anything in the Calamitous Casual Discord server that is related to that. So if you're going live, do just pop it up in the general channel or in the relevant channel, and feel free to post things on Facebook as well. It's very community driven, this whole affair, so yeah, get stuck in. Anyway, shall we crack on? Let's take a look at Division 1. So, returning teams, we've got just 6 this season. It's going to be a 5-game season with the top 4 going through to a playoffs, and the first team we're going to take a look at is this absolute bundle of AIDS. Returning for the 3rd and final season. Yeah, look at the state of this. That is just disgusting. And let's be honest, this is why there's only 6 Division 1 teams this season, isn't it?
Nobody wanted to come across this.
My dwarf team from last season has 1 dwarf left on it after playing this team.
Yeah.
Oh, God. But you know what? The bloat is real at this point. I mean, that's an insane team value, considering he's played what, maybe like less than 20 games, I reckon.
Yeah, it's mental.
Yeah. I did take the liberty of doing some maths on this team as well. As I was bored and had a few drinks in me. So in terms of like the actual stats for so far, this is now about to be their 3rd season. They've done a grand total of 387 armor breaks, 76 casualties, 4 kills, 101 KOs. Actually works out as just under 3 casualties a game.
Oh
wow.
My God.
Which you think about it, that's daft.
Yeah, that's pretty gross. But you know what? Everyone, like the problem with being in the position that Damo has got himself now is that he's literally the heel of the entire league. Nobody is wanting this guy to succeed. He's the big bad.
Quite definitely.
Yeah, exactly. We have some callers coming in with like various comments and stuff because I just sort of streaming this at the same time. We've got people that just say just remove it, just delete it, just get rid of it.
It will be going after this season. There is a 3-season limit, but yeah. Look, I mean, what else can you say about this? Really, it's gross. You all have my sympathies. The other 5 of you that are going to have to play this, but there is a Mars bar in it for anyone who can take out a Claw Mighty Blow piece.
Yeah, an actual Mars bar. And Jack, if you're watching this on a recording, either way, you still owe people some. We know, we still know.
All right, well,
Anyway.
let's move swiftly on. We've already given that more time than it deserves. Another third season team here. Karstein's Carnage Counts. Vampires. Third season Vampires. And do you know what? That's a really, really good vampire at the top there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. Well, I mean, would you have taken? Would you have still taken Pro after getting those upgrades?
Yeah. You still, Pro's there to save you rerolls on things like Bloodlust and mostly Bloodlust, in fact. So, that isn't affected by extra agility or extra strength. So it makes sense. It makes the team a little bit more reliable, which is something that vampires need, really.
I mean, but the other thing Pro's there for is if you screw up, if you fail a two-up dodge, right, and you don't have to waste your own rerolls on that and end your turn.
Yeah, very true.
I suppose you're still making two-up dodges, aren't you, at the end of the day?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Statistically, as it stands, of the 6 teams in this is statistically the worst team so far. Their win rate is their current record is 2, 6, and 12.
Fritz, you've really done your homework, haven't you? Wow, I was expecting it to be just the one for the Deimos team. You've done it for all of them.
No. I've got some interesting stats for each one, but yeah, 6, 12, and 2 wins, 6 losses. No, 2 wins, 6 draws, 12 losses. Sorry, my brain just muddled up there.
I feel like I put you under pressure there by complimenting you. I'm sorry, that was my fault.
You did a little bit. It doesn't happen often, and it sends me a bit weird. But yeah, it's statistically the worst team. But in terms of the team, they still look good.
There's nothing missing. There's no niggling injuries or anything like that. So yeah, going into this third season, it's a pretty strong starting off team, unless he meets Deimos Nurgle first game, which could be disastrous for him. But
and he's likely to be lower TV, so he gets some good inducements.
Definitely, nothing missing, as Emily said, is the right way to describe it, right? Because he's got everything he needs, and he's going to get inducements.
Yeah, I just want to point out that the thing on this team is that you look at that amazing vampire there in number 1. Just look at his name, and then look at number 4.
Yeah, he's trying to replicate.
This is why you name your players, guys.
That's why you name your players.
Oh dear. Oh, that's ruined it now.
Yeah, I know. It
All right, well, moving on. Let's take a look at the other necromantic team. No, sorry. There's 2 Nurgle teams. Ignore that. A necromantic team. And current champions, actually, who beat that absolutely AIDS Nurgle team in the final, I believe. Moonster Mash Bash, coached by Dave Bowden.
Moonster Mash Bash. Yes, this is a cracking little team. I've got more stats. So in terms of actual their win record, it is 17, 8, and 1. Okay. That's a record to be proud of.
That is a good record. Who was the one against though, Fritch? Have you got that?
I don't. I'd delve deep into the archives. So I didn't quite have that much time. But I can't
he didn't win the Tenderfoot. So it's whoever knocked him out.
So literally, the only game he lost was 2 seasons ago in the Tenderfoot Trophy. That's quite the pedigree.
The goblins in my chat have just said it's Impossibles. It was obviously that season, wasn't it?
Because it was Impossibles 1, didn't they?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you know what? The Nurgle team looks bad to come up against, but I wouldn't really fancy my chances against this one either, frankly.
The Nurgle team's going to kill you. This team's got much more versatility. Yeah. It's got ability to outplay you as well. Damo's going to kill you. Damo's going to take your team out, remove it, put it in the bin. This team could beat you without needing to do that.
With that said, in terms of I've got the same casualty stats here. So Dave has caused less casualties, so 53 casualties compared to 76 from the Nurgle. But Dave has killed 12, where the Nurgle only killed 4.
Oof.
Wow.
So what the Nurgle will do? They'll maim you, they'll torture you, they'll do it slowly and force you to sack them. At least Dave's merciful.
Clinical, I think is the word.
Don't think that's the word for it.
He's going to miss that flesh golem, though, isn't he? It's game 1. Yeah. That's rough.
That is rough.
But that being said, he has got some more. He's got removal and some niggling and injuries and stuff. He's got the players to make up for it.
Strength 4 werewolf that could develop into something nice.
Yeah,
that's things. Ugh. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you would expect these guys to be up in the mix. Let's take a look at Fira's, Wolfie's Nurgle team.
Yeah. Wolfie, the mentalist that is.
So I think, this is possibly the least developed team in Division 1, but then you don't expect Nurgle to get runaway development in the first season.
This is the second season. This is
a second season team.
So. Yeah. What you've got here that I think advantage for him, or good stats for him, is that he's got 3 of his 4 Nurgle warriors have done the first level and got block. They're the ones that take a long time to level up. The other one's only an MVP off it. Once he's rolling with that, the team becomes a lot more reliable. I know he's only out to kill you anyway, so don't expect many epic ball plays from Wolfie, but do expect death.
Yeah, in fairness, he's one on the way to on the murder train. Is in one season is what caused 26 casual to kill. Still decent.
Yeah.
The only difference is obviously his win-loss ratio, which is currently 0, 3, and 8.
Is that 3 losses or 8 losses?
3 draws, 8 losses.
Wow. Yeah, that's. But then it's Nurgle, isn't it? You just you do crap in your first season. That's how Nurgle works.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Ewan says, the fact that he's got block on most of his warriors and he's got a couple of mighty blows there. If he didn't have the mighty blows, I'd be a bit worried about him. But the fact that he can kind of go toe to toe, I think probably make him all right. Hopefully.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't expect him to do well, but I do expect him to do some murdering.
Yeah, if he can survive the season, next season's his season, right?
Yeah, easy.
Let's take a look at the Lizzies.
The Lizzies, yeah, crop rocking beats. Now these, this is a solid team. They've been pushed them out a bit.
Skink, Jesus!
What is that skink?
Yeah.
Wow!
Wow, movement 10 skink.
Yeah, get sprint on that, and you're laughing.
Yeah, mate, that's ever so slightly worse gutter runner.
Yeah,
if anything,
better if you consider Stunty to be stupidly useful. Which when you try and score the 1-turner, it is, right?
Yeah,
because you're ignoring tackle zones.
No effect on your tackle zones. It's very good.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got a niggle, so stand on it.
Yeah,
yeah. That's he's gonna spend all season protecting that.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got a strength 3 though. His strength 3 skink is going to be very useful for that.
Well, in his first game, because he's got that Saurus out of action, he's got exactly 11 players. So, he's probably going to want to get some more skinks, right? To just kind of pad things out so that he can keep that guy on the bench.
Yeah, remember he's got the double crocs with that strength 5 Saurus.
Yeah,
true. It's effectively a double crocs.
Yeah.
Just without the mighty blow.
Yeah. And a really stupid or whatever it is. Loner.
6 to 1, half a done. Yeah.
If anything, it's better than a Crocs.
Yeah, it's probably a bit more reliable.
Yeah.
Without mighty blow and without prehensile tails, so things can dodge away from it, and it doesn't obviously have the +1 for armor and/or injury.
Yeah, but it does what you tell it to every time you tell it to do it.
Yeah. It doesn't question the orders. It does.
It's for standing next to things, isn't it? That guy, you can't really fight it. It's basically a Khemri mummy with more movement. So, that team's all about the skink, though, isn't it? Let's be honest.
And in fairness to the other skink, he's got movement down, but it's still got catch and sidestep. That's still
it's still annoying, and it's strength 3, so it's a pretty decent player.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I imagine what you could do with that team is have the age-old issue of your opponent gets a really good kick, you can't get the ball forward fast enough. You can be picking up with your movement 10 skink, who's right at the back of the field, and then handing off to your strength 3 guy with catch, and have him kind of in the middle of the cage or whatever, and then you can move that movement 10 skink around the back and have him there to receive passes if you really need him to. Or there's a lot of options there. Having that kind of movement just gives you a lot of options.
Yeah, and he's got the 1 die on the 3-up dodge into a cage, hasn't he, as well? So
very good point. I hadn't thought of that. Very good point. But yeah, this should be interesting. His success is going to be all about whether he can keep that skink alive, though.
Yeah. So they've only had 1 season, so I don't know how much the stats show it. But in terms of win-loss, it's 8-2-2. Pretty respectable.
Pretty good. That's more than pretty respectable. That's a division-winning roster record right there.
Yeah, he can't beat halflings.
No, he didn't beat me.
They didn't beat the halflings though. The average TD he had though actually is currently higher than the Mash Bash at the moment. which is interesting. Average
Oh.
TD though, not.
Well,
it is only
yeah.
one season, so it could level out.
Not surprised, really, to be honest. Skinks are good at scoring. Let's take a look at these Skavens, the last team in Division 1. What have we got going on here? Ooh, that Storm Vermin's pretty nasty.
Yeah, Mittens.
Mittens the Storm Vermin, that thing.
Yeah, gross.
Exactly. It's gross. I mean, Mighty Blow, piling on Claw, and Tackle, because why not? It's like, it's really... That thing is like daft. That thing can kill easy.
Yeah. I see a theme with these gutter runners, guys.
Yeah. I wonder what Chi-Chi's getting.
Yeah, I wonder. I do wonder.
He's got the kicker as well,
I would
which
take
is huge.
on that one now.
On teams that have this kind of movement, having a kicker who can smash that ball to the back of the field, and then your gutter runners can start moving around on your turn 1. Very, very handy thing to have that. And the fact that he's rolled doubles on 2 linemen. It's quite rare that you see 2 guard after 1 season on a Skaven team like that.
Yeah. It's worth pointing out that this was the team that very nearly won the Tenderfoot Trophy as well.
Yeah,
I
very
can believe
close. Very close to it.
Would you add the Rat Ogre in at the next opportunity?
No.
Ooh, I would, only because I haven't really played at one sort of Skaven team, and that was in the CCL ladder, and I love the Rat Ogre. As soon as it's all depends. It does depend massively. As soon as you see a double, you take Claw. But once that happens, absolute murder machine. I've seen that thing take down Tomb Guardians, trees, you name it.
Yeah, but I just find it's a liability for the way that Skaven want to play isn't about going toe to toe. I mean, yeah, it might be a good sort of roadblock, but it's wild animal, so it's difficult to move. I don't rate it as being particularly useful because it's going to eat your blitzes. It's not reliable. It's okay, yeah, it's dangerous and it's a big thing to go past. But I think you're actually better playing that sort of faster agility style without it.
Yeah.
Especially with
I could agree. I only say Rat Ogre because I like fun.
Yeah, I'm anti-fun. I play dwarves, man.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
think for this team, no, just because of the style of play and he's so effective at moving his players into the useful. His positioning is really good, and the way he uses his players, I feel like the Rat Ogre would go against how he plays. But he might look at what he's coming up against and decide to take it due to roadblock or fighting, or giving players, here, go fight that. I won't use it.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
I mean, Wolfie will try and kill it.
Oh yeah. I say the messages I'm getting in my chat window are saying, because if you actually look at the actual division, which is literally what Dizzy just said, if you actually look at the actual division, it's quite a bashy division.
Yep.
So taking the Rat Ogre might not be a bad idea, just to give yourself something, because let's face it,
you don't outplay Bash by bashing it. You outplay Bash by not getting hit.
I mean, it is quite a bashy division, but also you've got the Vamps aren't going to be playing Bash, the Skaven aren't going to be playing Bash, and the Lizardmen are going to have to rely on Skinks because they can't out-bash anything. So I think basically, you've got 2 Nurgles who are going to bash, and Necro who are going to be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it looks bashier than it is, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You look at the skill set and go, that's very bashy. But then when you think about how they would play it, it might not be as bashy as you'd think.
That's fair. So go on then. So let's ask the all important question: champion.
Well, shall we do top 4? Who are you expecting to be in the playoffs? Go on, kick us off, Ewan.
Okay, well, we've definitely got Dave's going to be there, isn't he, with the Monster Mash Bash. That is a sure thing. And I can't imagine Damo not getting there with that team. I would probably say the other 2 that I would expect. I think the Vampires might sneak it. He's a very good coach, and having a season advantage on the other teams, he may probably sneak 4th, and then it's going to be between the Clock Rocking Beats and Kill It and Grill It. I don't expect Wolfie to have a great season because that Nurgle team's a little bit behind. I'm going to go for the Skaven. I think that someone is going to get hold of that skink and skin it. Clock style boots, mate. crocodile boots.
You meant lizards, not you said Skaven.
Yeah, lizards. Someone is going to skin that skink.
Yeah,
I
I think what he's saying is the skink's going to get killed and the lizards aren't going to make it.
Yeah.
So he's going Skaven. What about you then, Fritch?
In terms of top 4, I might as well quickly just say the ones I don't expect to go through. I don't expect Wolfie to go through on account of his win record at current, and like you say, it is quite underdeveloped for what he's going up against. He is the lowest TV. He's missing quite a lot. He's got a lot of core skills that he needs on the Warriors, but it's Nurgle. It's still going to be a slow grind. Next season, if he gets a decent develop in, then yeah, but this season I doubt it. And the other one I'm tempted to say it might not be one for the Vamps might not get through. Yes, those Vamps are good. They're still Vamps. They can implode at a moment's notice, and they can do it semi regularly. I think the other 4 will go through.
Okay, Emily.
Yeah, I agree. I think Damo's Nurgle are just bleh. So I don't think they're going to struggle all too much. I think Necro are going to, again, is a very, very good team. I think the Lizardmen might squeak it. I think, yes, there is that skink, but they have enough in the other players, I think, to squeak through. And then the Skaven, I don't think will have an issue either. Yeah, I just feel that the Nurgle and the Vampires are... The Nurgle is the second season, so still very new, still very not developed. And then the Vampires, again, they can implode very easily if they're not careful.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Vampires did sneak in. Like, if the Vampires behave, they've arguably got a better roster than some of the others in there. That's a big if, though, right?
Going to count it big here.
But Pro is a big thing. Like, if Pro behaves, if Pro makes them behave like professionals, like it's
basically half in your bloodlust.
Yeah. Low tier team, right? They're not expected to do anything. Anything better than last is a win for the Vamps.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was Division 1. That's the returning coaches. Let's take a look at 2A, shall we?
Here we go.
Here we go. These are all new teams, so I don't have any stats.
Just laughing about the names now, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so we haven't seen enough Nurgle teams yet, so let's start off with this Nurgle team. Sinister Puss.
Sinister Puss.
So this is your standard Nurgle TV1000 team build. 2 rerolls, beasts, 4 warriors, a pestigore, and the rest filled out with rotters. And we do have a theme here. Lots of puss.
Yeah.
Lovely. It sounds disgusting.
Yeah. Malar AI. What is that a reference to?
I was just wondering that.
That's got to be something.
No idea.
That's got to be something.
In the chat, guys. Say in the chat if you know.
Yeah, if anyone knows. I like Vomit Hornface as well. Has he actually got a horn on his face? Yeah, he has, look.
Yep, nice. Nice.
Yeah,
all right.
total.
Yep, strong theme, strong team. There's not really much else you can say about this because it's not a fruity build. And
exactly what you'd build.
It's what you'd expect, yeah.
Okay,
exactly. So we've got 4 of these 5 Division 2s have an Amazon team. I don't know why this is the season of Amazon.
Yeah, it's suddenly out of nowhere.
Yeah, what's going on? So Sam Unwin has played a weird meme team every single season that we have had so far. Is this his first time playing a sensible team? Oh my god!
No one to see the names.
It kind of is. This is kind of a sensible team.
But then the names are like
called Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Samantha.
Yeah.
Is that supposed to be Samantha? Do you like
Samantha?
No, because they got Samantha earlier. He's got a cat named Samantha. So
Samantha.
I'm guessing he was just looking up names that have Sam at the beginning of them.
I mean, 2 throwers. Would you go 2 throwers? I wouldn't.
Well,
is there a reason
you could have had. So traditionally, you have 12, right? You have a 12 player roster here with
12 lady roster,
3 rerolls and an apothecary. But I mean, it's not the end of the world, is it? Like if you don't lose anyone in game 1 and you get some good development on a thrower, then it's a risk reward, right? Plus, it gives us something to talk about.
100%. Yeah,
yeah, true.
It's true.
Which character will survive?
Is it going to be
hopefully.
Samuela or Samantha? I'd say we didn't have any Amazon teams in the Calamitous at all last season.
Well, you don't tend to see them in leagues because they get the heads kicked in, don't they?
Yeah,
true. They do all right in tournaments.
This league is they do all right until maybe unless you pull dwarves, they do all right for the first sort of 8 games. After that, they start falling off because everybody builds tackle because they're sick of Amazons dodging punches.
Yeah,
and then Amazons start dying.
Yep,
true enough.
True.
Well,
so they expect them to reach the playoffs and then die.
Yeah,
that's a fair comment.
We can only hope so. Let's take a look at these high elves. This is Neville, his second season here. He had a really, really rough season last season as Chaos. But you could tell that he wasn't like a brand spanking new player or anything like that. I think he just had a really... Well, they're difficult, aren't they, Chaos, anyway? They've got no core skills.
This is interesting.
This is weird. There's no blitzers.
Where are your blitzers? You've got 3 catchers and a thrower.
Yeah.
I mean...
Did he do something similar with the Chaos team last season? Only had 1 reroll.
He's at least taken 3 rerolls this time. But no APOTH.
And no blitzers. And 3 catches.
Well, the no apothecary's like reasonable because you want to get an 11-man roster and you probably won't start with an apothecary. I'd rather get the rerolls, right? Because once the season begins, rerolls cost 100k. But if you get a good roll on your first game, you can get your apothecary straight away. But you definitely want some blitzers. You definitely need some blitzers. I would even go so far as to recommend before the first game starts, you should still be able to. You can still fire and hire, right?
Yeah,
until you play the first game. Yeah. I would highly recommend, if you're watching this, getting some blitzers on this roster.
Yeah, it's unless he's going for the other elf tactic of just do not engage. It's he could just decide, no, I'm not going to fight. You can hit what you want, and he's just going to prey on his armor rate for the most part, and then maybe buy a blitzer later. Well,
you only need 1 catcher. You're not at the start. Fire 2 catchers and get some blitzers.
Each catch is 90k, and that's like, unless
that's how much a blitzer costs, isn't it? 90k, I think. Yeah. I don't know. I don't
maybe
know
100. Might be 100. But anyway, I'd definitely take the blitzers.
Yeah.
I mean, the standard is to go 2 re-rolls, thrower, 2 catchers, 2 blitzers. It might be 1 catcher, 2 blitzers. Because the blitzers are so good.
Yeah. I mean, basically, what we can all agree on here is you need somebody who can fight, even if you're playing elves. This is just a very, very strange looking roster.
So it could just need it could just be a case of someone just highlighted it in my chat. It could just be gone for it's only 1 catcher really needs to go through. So he might be going for like meme strats.
Yeah, maybe
he could just be fucking it up and just like, why not? I mean, he did 1 reroll last season. No, he's just suggesting to do anything different this one.
Yeah. Well, hey, I hope it proves us wrong.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, prove us wrong, Neville.
Yeah, prove us wrong, Neville. That'd be
brilliant. Undead. No, this is your team, Emily.
My team, yeah.
These are funny looking halflings.
This is what I like to call the expert build for.
Oh god.
Because there's kind of 2 ways that you can build an undead team in a kind of standard default way, right? You can have 2 ghouls or 3 ghouls, basically. If you go for the 2 ghoul builds, you can get some extra. You've got a little extra cash you start saving up for your next ghoul. And it's like, basically, the long and short of it is ghouls get taken out, right? People focus ghouls, they've only got 7 armor, and they don't have regeneration. So once they're gone, they're gone. So if you're good, if you know what you're doing, you get 3 ghouls, you protect them, and then you've got 3 developed ghouls pretty quickly. If you're a little bit more nervous, you get 2 ghouls, and it's easier to protect them, and yeah, basically. But you've gone for the expert build, so respect.
Well, when I initially made it, I did go for 2 ghouls, and then I played a game against Max to practice, because I've never played undead before, and I decided to go undead for whatever crazy reason. And both ghouls got, I think, either MNG or, it was a friendly, so it didn't affect it. But yeah, I was like, I need an extra ghoul for this. They both got taken out really quickly, and I was like, yeah, probably it's best to have a 3rd one. So I just took out a zombie and just replaced it with a ghoul.
Yeah, fair play.
Double skeleton.
Yeah,
interesting.
That's the other weird thing about this, because when you go for the 3 ghoul build, what you generally do is have 3 zombies, so you can put all 3 zombies on the line when your opponent's attacking, because the skeletons are 7 armor, right? So with this build, you'd have to have a skeleton on the line.
Okay,
Yeah, the skeleton's there to do stamping, isn't he?
Yeah, the skeleton's your fouling piece, if you have one at all. Some people don't have skeletons at all. I like to have a skeleton and use him for fouling.
Yeah, but you're a dirty fouler.
Like I said, this was a build I saw online. I had no idea how to actually build an undead team, so I kind of went with what it was saying.
It's definitely good. It's not bad in the slightest.
Yeah.
Well, you can have all skeletons if you want, right? I've seen that done. If you prefer the movement value, like there's no right or wrong at the end of the day.
Yeah,
it's movement versus survivability, isn't it?
Yeah, a good point to make though. Remember, and so again, someone in my chat has just brought this up, which is a good point. Yes. I myself, I would go for the skeletons. I will go for all skeletons rather than all zombies, and I agree with this reason because they have thick skull. It kind of sort of brings them towards that armor 8 sort of value. So if they do get hit, there's a less chance of getting knocked out, and the extra movement can be knocked.
I think mathematically though, I would disagree with that, because while thick skull is useful, you got to remember that you're not rolling a d12 for armor, you're rolling 2d6. So the likelihood of you beating a 7 is exponentially higher than the likelihood of you beating an 8. Rolling a 9 on 2d6 is more difficult than rolling an 8, incrementally more difficult, right? So that armor 7 to armor 8 is like a huge deal in Blood Bowl, and it's mathematically much more than just 1, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I get where you're coming from, but
the other thing fair enough. The other thing to consider is thick skull saves you from a knockout, so it's a permanent removal, but stuns win games. If you're knocking someone out for 1 more turn, so a stun means you're missing your next turn, that's massive. And the difference between, the skeleton's going to get stunned more because it's going to armor break more, it's less likely to get knocked out, but actually, as Ben said, obviously breaking armor, but also that sort of presence on the pitch is lessened by the fact that it's more likely to be stunned.
Yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't thought of that. Anyway, let's move forward, guys, because we've spent a long time on this one team. All right, Woodies, Balls of Steel, brave guy you are.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is weird for a number of reasons. Sorry, ABM Salamander. Oh, this is Alex's team. Yeah. I was looking at that and thinking ABM. Who's that? Yeah. So this is an interesting build for a number of reasons. So the default way to build a Wood Elf team would be to replace one of those linemen with a catcher, because Wood Elf catchers are stupidly fast, and you really, really want one, and you can afford one because they cost, I think it's 100k. Yeah, so you can afford to replace one of those linemen with a catcher, and probably should. But the other way to build a Wood Elf team, if you really want to go the opposite end, is to get rid of one of those War Dancers, replace the War Dancer with a lineman, and get a 3rd reroll. Now that's like the risky way to do it, because you can get that early 3rd reroll, which can really make the difference, but having 10 linemen and 1 War Dancer is quite difficult unless you really know what you're doing. So this is a fruity build. I would recommend getting a catcher because they're some of the best pieces in the game.
Yep.
I do like the going 2 War Dancers, because get them leveling early, but that catcher is amazing.
Yeah,
the catcher.
Right.
Someone who can receive the ball on a 2-up with a reroll, and someone who can literally, what's his movement? 8 with sprint? He can move 11 squares in one turn.
He's basically an ever so slightly worse gutter runner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is
but with catch.
I'm unsure as to why this build. Sure, by all means, do it. I'm no judge. I'm very bad at this game, but say in terms of I'd be like wanted a catcher 100% of the time. I'm not really an elf coach, especially not a Wood Elf coach at that. But yeah, it just seem a bit odd. So unless he's planning to score with linemen, and who wants to score with linemen?
Yeah, well, I mean, you do kind of want to score with your war dancers, so that's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
The war dancers themselves are really fast and can basically handle the game on themselves, but still, I would recommend getting rid of one of these linemen and getting a catcher before the first game's played. Do not do that after the first game's played, though, because once the first game has been played, if you fire a player, you won't get your money back for it, so don't do that. There's literally nothing we can do for you at that point as well. But yeah, Brave taking a Wood Elf for your first season as well. These guys are really, really difficult teams
First
to
time ever playing.
Yeah. So
it's going to be a steep learning curve. I like it. I approve.
He's also in my, because I'm running a new player league at the moment, so he's playing Wood Elves in that as well. So it's the team who currently knows how to the best how to play.
Get some practice.
Yeah, he's had a bit of practice, but it's still a fairly new player. Yes.
Okay,
that's fine.
Well,
yep.
Fair enough.
So he's going to learn the hard way. Oh.
Yeah, good luck.
Things 1 and 2 though.
So, this is Max's team, Chaotic Burgers. So interesting that you chose. Yeah, I would have gone with like burgers with a H. You know, like a kind of medieval European burger. But yeah, he's gone actual burgers, like sandwiches.
Yes. Yeah, but what's the point? Controversial. He's starting with the Minotaur.
Yeah.
It's Max.
Yeah.
It is Max. He is absolutely mental. And he's currently watching this live, so honestly, Max, I approve.
Why have you got two beastmen called Fries, Max?
Fries, man.
Yeah,
one of them should be like
fries?
onion rings or something. Look at all the options you had for things with burgers. You could have had onion rings. You could have had nacho cheese bites.
Why?
I guarantee now. I guarantee, like now, he's gonna go into the game whilst we're streaming and change it.
While you're at it, Max. While you're at it, please capitalise the S in salad, the K in ketchup, and the C in chips because it's giving me a hemorrhage.
And he's literally talking in the chat right now. Apparently, he finds onion rings disgusting. So for that, I suggest we expel him from the Calamitous Casual for insolence.
He also says you always need extra fries.
That's true, actually. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, this is a fruity build, right? Fruity Chaos build. It's a risky Chaos build, but if it pays off, you get a very early developed Minotaur, and that Minotaur can do some serious damage to undeveloped teams.
If that thing gets claw early, people are in the shit.
Claw on a normal, mate. It's claw on a normal.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's claw on a normal.
Yeah.
Only
a casualty and an MVP. You can have claw in game 2.
Only him and the Beast of Nurg will get access to something other than strength on a normal. That's a big guy, so it's massive.
It's me getting confused because obviously I did a season of Chaos Dwarf versus the Minotaur on there. Doesn't
and the Underworld Troll. Good point.
Yeah, Underworld Troll as well. Yeah, but still, I approve of the starting Minotaur. It's brave, and I hope it goes well. I hope to see it in action.
Makes things interesting for us. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at these humies. This is Paulie's second team and second human team, so it looks like he's a guy who likes to play humans. And yeah, this is this is pretty much your standard human builds. You can.
I will say, why put the ogre in the middle of the line?
Yeah, I've noticed that. Come on, move these guys around, make it more aesthetically pleasing for us. But yeah, this is your standard human build. You can go for a second thrower on this roster if you want. You could fire one of these linemen and get a second thrower, and you don't have to, but mathematically speaking, there's an argument for why you might as well, because usually a skill upgrade adds 20k to the value, but in the case of human throwers, you get 2 skill upgrades for only 20k more value. So you could, but you don't have to, right? And there is also an argument for saying that by not doing that, you only need 30k in your first game to get your apothecary.
Yeah. I am a fan of not even taking the catcher, so I'd actually set the catcher off and take another lineman instead.
Well, you are objectively incorrect.
The main reason is because I think that of all the teams, when you're developing it, humans live and die by their linemen. So getting linemen developed early and scoring on them is kind of vital. Scrape through.
I'm usually into what you say, Ewan, but that is, I don't know how I feel. As someone who's played quite a bit of humans, the whole point of humans is that you're adaptable, right? So if you need to play that passing game, you can.
Linemen. I'm not saying you don't get a catcher, but you get your catcher after like game 2 when you've got a bit more money. But you get those linemen leveling early, because once you've got that little bit more skilled lineman, humans live and die on skills and that versatility. But that versatility comes from, like, if your line can hold better, you can be more versatile.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I don't know. I don't think I'd want to just having the ability, just the one turn potential for a start, but having the ability to send that guy around the back along with a couple of blitzers and throw a pass to him is just, I don't think I'd ever be able to turn that down.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So the chat starts going in there, thinks that Ewan is full of shit. And
glad to hear that.
FTP needs to go on the blitzers. Which is fair enough.
I'm all about leveling those linemen. Get those linemen.
I think what we can all agree is the human ogre is a massive pain in the arse.
Yeah,
it's so unreliable, especially when he's number 9 in the middle of a bunch of linemen.
It's ridiculous.
Sort it out. Just got the goblins now. Green Fadge Packers. So this is Alex. Yeah, he's never played Blood Bowl before in his life.
Nice.
I've played a couple of games, games with him, yeah, and he was like, "I want to play goblins." So here it is.
Sure. You go for it, mate.
You mental case. I love it.
This is going to be the source of the fun games in this division. As soon as you figure it, if you, by all means, if you're watching, as soon as you figure out what a foul is, you're going to have some fun.
Well, I've explained the basic concepts of goblins to him. I convinced him to trim his team down to less than 900 so that he can get his 2 bribes, and I convinced him to get to trim it down from, I think he had like 5 or 6 rerolls or something. So I got a second troll, and I played against him with my wood elves, and he picked it up pretty quickly, I think. But anyway,
nice.
It looks like it'll be a lot of fun, I think.
It's great fun playing goblins. It's great fun playing goblins.
I'm just waiting for that first game where he plays with the chain and ball and it just whacks all of his own players down.
Yeah.
Or when he opens his turn with a blitz with a chainsaw and he just chainsaws himself off the field.
Yeah, just died. Instantly killed itself on the first move, yeah.
And now you know.
That's what goblins do, though. Alright, so that's that league, isn't it?
Well, would you drop a goblin and get a 3rd reroll?
I would drop
900k.
A goblin. I would drop a goblin and take the 3rd reroll, personally.
Yeah, same here.
I probably would as well.
Yeah. But this is fine too.
Because the point of taking your bribes is to keep those 2 players in the game, so your 13-man roster, it's a fair start.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
I don't know really way to say
sorry.
Who's going to be our top. For Tenderfoot, is there a different set of rulers, or is it top 4 or?
So the Tenderfoot Trophy will comprise 16 teams from the 5 Division 2s of 8. It'll be the top 3 from each division and the best 4th place team. As a wild card. So the top 3 times 5 gives us 15, and then the best 4th place team makes up the 16th. It will be a seeded competition, with seeds being determined by basically how well each. So the first place team that had the best record at the end of the season will be seed number 1. The first place team that had the second best record will be seed number 2, etc., etc. Then we move to second places, blah, blah, blah. So it is possible that you could end up being drawn against a team you've already played in the first round of the Tenderfoot Trophy, but we had such a weirdly awkward number of teams this season that mathematically this was the best and most sensible way we could puzzle it out. And actually, I quite like it because it makes for the first time ever, there really is something to play for in Division 2. Like, you are more likely to not get through than you are to get through.
Yeah. I was shocked that my halflings got through last time. Like, that was that was insane. But yeah, I think this it gives you much more to play for. Being top 3, so I like it. Yeah,
and you get a foot if you win. You get a foot.
You do get a foot.
Yeah, you do. You do get the Tenderfoot Trophy, which you'll.
Do you get the other foot from last time's Tenderfoot Trophy?
No, you get to keep your trophy forever. You get to keep your tenderfoot
No,
trophy.
no. As in, the last time was the left foot, and this time you get the right foot.
Oh, I see. Yeah, and then the season after that, it will be the middle foot.
Yeah,
you're going to make in
the Twitch chat. David is going for the other foot. He wants the other foot.
Good luck with that, Dave.
So who do you think will
I think it's between 4 here, in my opinion. I think the Nurgle, which is being coached by, I believe, Nico, who is a really experienced coach.
Yeah.
I think we've got the Paulie, who is a human coach who did really well in his first season with humans. Then had a second season in Division 1 that wasn't too great, but I think he knows what he's doing. I think Emily's Undead will be in the mix, and I think probably Sam Unwin's Amazons, if he doesn't play like a meme lord, which he probably will. So in that case, I'm going to go with Max's Chaos. Max is one of the best coaches in this division, but the only reason I don't put him in there is because he's playing Chaos. He's not only playing Chaos, but he's playing hardcore mode Chaos, and I think that he's going to struggle just because of the lack of core skills, the lack of rerolls.
He does love Chaos. He does love playing Chaos. So I think that gives him
plays into his hands.
It plays into his hands. Yeah, he does love this team. So it's not as though he doesn't know what he's doing with Chaos. And so I think he will do well.
I've got to say, that makes sense.
That I'm in there. I'm very pleased to say that I'm in there, saying that I haven't played Undead before, but I hope I do well.
Yeah, but you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. You know what all the skills do. You know how to play Blood Bowl, and Undead are a good team.
So, you can win with halflings. That's at the end of it. If you can win with halflings, you can win with anything.
Yeah. If you can dodge a ball, you can dodge a wrench. All right, so well,
is it more like if you can dodge a halfling, you can throw it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sort of like that. Max is saying Chaos is his best team, so.
Yeah, I mean, this is why you're in my predictions. You're up there in the mix. I think if you don't make it, it won't be because you did anything wrong. It'll be because first season Chaos are just difficult to wrangle, right? But if you get like the goblins in your first game and absolutely kick the crap out of them, then you'll get some core skills and maybe you'll start running away with it. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I think if you put a gun to my head, I'd probably choose the Nurgle, the Undead, and the humans for top 3.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Well, let's see where it goes.
Do you guys agree, disagree?
I agree.
All right. Sorry, Ewan, have you got somewhere that you need to be?
Yes. Ed.
No, you're mate.
It's normally my job, you see, to keep Fritch from basically talking about one game for an hour.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess Ewan's insistence will move forward, shall we?
Yeah,
shall we? Yeah.
Division.
Not like we haven't got another 4 divisions to go.
Okay, 2B. So we've got this is Kev Bruin's Dark Elves. He's an experienced coach. He knows what he's doing. He's gone for the no Witch Elf build, which is one of the 2 kind of standard ways to build Dark Elves, isn't it?
I like that way of building.
Emily, this is your bag, right? You know what you're talking about here.
Well, you say that. I played Dark Elves when I was very new to the game, so I don't know whether I do know that much. Saying I was still learning at the time. Well, I am still learning, but I never liked the runners personally. The armor 7 means they're quite easy to kill. If you're going to go with armor 7, I'd rather the Witch Elf because you've got that dodge ability. But that's just me.
But this
I don't really think Dump Off is worth an extra 10k in a drop in armor, is it?
Yeah.
No. Dump Off on those weird skills. It's weird skill. You don't see it often. You don't see it often for a reason. It isn't that great.
Yeah.
Because it's not accurate in the slightest. I mean, I'd comment what the stats are for it.
But why is it put as the starting skill? Like, I don't understand the runners. I don't. And their movement, they're called runners, but their movement is exactly the same as the blitzers. So I go for the blitzers over the runner because the armor 8 is nice in the block. Yeah. So
if the runner was movement 8,
it'd be more worth it. It would be more worth it. But personally, I just don't like the runner.
I think the argument is that Witch Elves are also really low armor and they can frenzy trap themselves, right? So
yes, but they do have the dodge ability, which is my favourite skill in the game.
But if you're taking a Witch Elf, aren't you dropping a reroll?
Yes.
No. Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're
Dude,
110.
you have to drop a blitzer, don't you? You have to go 3
You have to drop a
blitzers.
blitzer, yeah. They're 110. So
I like blitzers, man.
Okay.
Yeah, that actually makes that a lot more succeed. I've literally never played Dark Elves in a league before, so I wouldn't know. But that makes a lot more sense now. Like having 4 blitzers, I kind of get it.
Yeah,
I would go for line elf over
block movement 7.
That's line elf
nice
over a runner. I can get that.
Yeah.
But either way, this guy's not a beginner, so I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
I'm a fan of assassins myself, just because nobody likes them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
feel the same way.
That one's got a good theme, Nirvana, can't go wrong.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we didn't comment on that, but yeah, good theme. So Prague Prancers, Von
Best
Draken.
team in the league. This.
That's a name that I recognise. Von Draken.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely best team in the
Alex.
Yeah,
right.
This is the former Lizard coach. This is the former
Tenderfoot champion.
Tenderfoot champion.
We've got some pedigree here.
Coach. Yeah, so we've got some good pedigree, and I completely approve of the name. The naming convention. It's turned everyone into the Calamitous Casual into some sort of Russian gent. I love myself.
Didn't turn me into one either.
Rubbish team.
Oh, there's a lot of people in the Calamitous Casual now.
He's probably saving me for the bear, right? That must be what's going on.
Yeah.
I think it was whoever commented on the shit first. So.
All right, okay.
Okay.
You've got me and Fritch and Dave Bowden. Sam
this is
Wilding.
a strong theme. Well, we've got 2 guys here who played a lot of Kislev, right? So what do you 2 think?
I think he's going to struggle.
This is a pretty. Yeah, well, with Kislev, it was always a struggle.
You start with no skills, and you've got one of you. Well, you start with no normal skills, and then you've got one skill that burns all of your rerolls. Going 3 rerolls on most teams, going 3 rerolls, it's like you're covered. Going 3 rerolls on Kislev, on Slan,
it's never enough.
That's risky, mate. It's never enough.
Enough.
You need 4. 4 is not enough. 4 only covers you for half a half. You are going to burn through these things. I like the idea of taking 3 blitzers. They're really, really good. But personally, I would drop out a blitzer and take another lineman, or even drop out a lineman and a blitzer and a catcher and have that 20k ready for the apothecary. But it's a very good team. If it plays well, if he's got a lot of agility teams in the league, diving tackle can be brutal.
Yeah, diving tackle it's that wonderful skill that everyone forgets exists.
And you've got jump up, so you can just fuck off afterwards as well.
Yeah, it's like I'm not going to take you down. We're both down on the floor. Oh, surprise! Motherfucker! Boing! See ya. Just run away. It's we all love a good Kislev team, and
it is always fun. It is always fun seeing these guys. They're never boring, that's for sure.
No, absolutely not. And then the first purchase you get, I think it's either like your first winnings, depending on what they are. If they're enough, you probably go for the reroll straight away. If they're not, you might be tempted to just drag it out for the bear.
Well,
no, I go apothecary and then probably the bear.
Speaking of boring, Sean's dwarf team.
Hey, the return of God.
It's so boring that he's literally named them after a previous team he had. This is the standard dwarf build. This is the default dwarf build, right?
Yeah.
2 troll slayers, 2 blitzers, 2 runners, and a bunch of longbeards. You can just have 1 runner and get the extra longbeard and save up towards the apothecary. You can also have 1 runner, 1 troll slayer, and you really are almost towards the apothecary then. The argument for that is that troll slayers tend to get targeted, but honestly, who cares? They're still armor 8.
Yeah, true. Very true.
I personally, when I did mine, I actually took the apothecary in 2 rerolls, and do you know what? I didn't even find I needed them.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I was so used to playing Kislev, who burned all the rerolls. Like I was so good at. You get so good at sort of hoarding your rerolls and not burning shit. I barely used 1.
Well, you don't need rerolls as dwarves, do you? You literally have to roll. You have to roll a double skull most of the time to get a turnover, and unless you're in a real pinch, you're not really doing much dodging or passing. So yeah, you just don't really. You can roll 1 die blocks to your heart's content. The only I would never take the apothecary though until later on, because you're also just not going to get cashed in your first game unless you're really unlucky.
I had 2 players die in my first game.
Wow, that's pretty unusual. See, I like the 3 rerolls so that I can roll 1 dice. If you can roll 1 die blocks, if you got 3 rerolls and you've got 3 turns left, roll some 1 die blocks.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
Yeah. Anyway, let's not speak about dwarfs for too long, because there's not really much else to say. But this isn't boring. A Khemri team.
I like the name already.
Yeah, Toot and Boot.
That's good.
It. Pharisine, Pharaoh City, Pheromone, Pharaoh Rocher.
Lazy
I like Pharaoh Rocher. Quality naming.
This is a good naming.
Oh, my chat made a very good point on instantly seeing this. Only 1 blitz.
Yeah, this is fruity. So
this is fruity. I like it.
The standard way to build Khemri is to have 2 blitz Ras and 2 rerolls, so that you can get your throw Ra in there. The way I like to build Khemri is to have no throw Ras, 2 blitz Ras, and 3 rerolls, because my reasoning with that is I'll pick it up with a blitz Ra if I can, try and score with him. I don't mind using a reroll to pick it up, and I don't really care about scoring because I'm playing Khemri. But yeah, this is very fruity. But to be fair, he knows what he's doing. He's played loads of Khemri before, and
it's true.
Fruity. I like it.
I don't know. I quite like it. I think if it goes towards making Khemri a little bit more reliable. You've got no skills on your Tomb Guardian, and you burn all your rerolls trying to pick up the ball. Well, you're not going to if you've got 2 throw Ras. Sure hands. You can't. You physically can't. So your rerolls are going to make you more stable for longer, I think.
I don't know. I'd rather have 2 block, honestly, on a team that is bashy, and this is one of the bashiest leaning teams. The pass on a throw Ra is borderline useless. You're never going to use it unless you're really desperate.
Yeah. I mean, I personally think they're a lot less. They're kind of less bashy at the start. It's only once they get going. I actually think you need to be shit hot on positioning to completely zone the other team to play Khemri really well at first.
I mean, the way I found to do well with Khemri is you imagine that your Tomb Guards are chained together by a 2 square wide chain, and you move them around like that, just zoning off half the field. But I think the problem with Khemri, like you say, they're not that bashy, but they're completely 0% of anything else. So you just have to play them like they're bashy. But this is interesting. I'll be interested to see how this develops.
If anything, like the obviously the whole build is fruity, and I love it, and it looks like it struck a chord with the chat because people are loving the names of these, and I'm loving them as well.
It's a great name.
And you have to hope it doesn't rain.
Cabin.
That's got a very good point.
Yeah.
If it rains,
Cabin Fever, Lombard Jack, Bonely Hearts Club. They are cracking names. You've done well. That is in for. We're going to keep hold of that one in our minds. That is in for team naming of the season.
Definitely. So our second out of 4 Division 2 Amazons here.
Teams.
We've got featherweights from Med, who is a new coach to the league. I don't know if Med has played before much Blood Bowl, but you would assume so because this is the standard.
Yeah.
And it's even neatly laid out. We like you laid out neatly.
Beautiful. That is beautiful. Aesthetically pleasing.
This is fine. We like this.
Yep.
Yeah, don't want to say on this. This is the standard.
We've seen a non-standard one.
And everything.
Yep. We've seen the non-standard one. This is the standard way to build your Amazon team. You've got what is that, like 12 players? So someone on the bench, 3 rerolls, and an apothecary. That's one of the best things I think actually about Amazons is that you can start with 3 rerolls, an apothecary, and people on the bench.
And 12 players,
12 players, all
and
with
have
dodge.
every positional.
Yeah.
I do like the naming theme. Naming theme's good.
All named after birds. And it's called Featherweight.
Nice.
Yeah. This is a home run, this team.
Good solid team. I look forward to seeing some good Zon plays.
Quality.
Oh, now this next one is by some loser that no one's heard of.
I know.
The Lycanthrope Loonies.
He didn't win the Tenderfoot Trophy or anything last season.
Right. Okay. Be honest with us, Emily. Did you help him with the spelling for the name and the players?
No.
Wow. Then you know what? He's done really well there. He's done very well.
And okay, let's give him credit where it's due. He is the reigning tenderfoot champ.
He is. Yeah, that's true.
He is. He's coming with a new team.
He didn't go again.
Okay. Yeah. Apparently, he googled these names, so we can take the points away.
Well, yeah, I knew it. I bloody knew it. Well, this is the standard way to build your necro team. You've got both your whites, both your flesh golems, starting off with 2 werewolves, a bunch of zombies, and you don't get your ghouls till later because your ghouls don't have regen, and they are armor 7, and the werewolves can pretty much do everything the ghouls can do, and a little bit more.
Yeah, and you've got your whites in a pinch.
Yeah.
Handleable.
Yeah. There's not really much else to say about this. You'd expect it to do well.
It's weird not seeing ghouls on, like, say, a necro or an undead team or anything like that, but I can understand why.
It's the standard. You don't generally start with them.
The last time I played necro in a league, I got my ghoul was the first extra player I got. And then I rolled a double on him, and I rolled a double on him again. So for the first double, I gave him accurate, and for the second double, I gave him pass. And I basically had a quarterback ghoul.
Nice.
And the werewolves get access to agility, so you can give one of them catch. So you can actually turn your werewolves into catching pieces and play a bit of a passing game if you really want to, and if you get lucky. Yeah. But yeah. Not much else to say about this, right?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be fun.
It's all right.
All right.
It's a good one.
Arctic Antarctic. That's another name that I recognise.
What are you doing?
What are
you doing? Come on, guys.
Do you know what? He's actually made them equidistant, though, look. The blitzers are actually equidistant to one another in the roster.
No, don't you try and justify this crap.
My eyes! My eyes!
Yeah. Please rearrange this roster.
He's in my chat, and he's literally just saying in the chat, "I'm a monster."
So what's the name of this coach? Do we know this person?
I'm not entirely sure who is Arctic Antarctic. If you need to tell us your name in the chat, I'll.
He said he's comfortable with who he is.
He's comfortable with who he is.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm not sure who it is specifically, but he's level 20 in the whole game. So, yeah,
presumably knows what they're doing. And you would think so as well, because this is a slightly fruity build. The traditional way to build these guys is no troll, 2 throwers, 3 rerolls, right? But instead we've got the troll, we've got a single thrower, and 2 rerolls. Sometimes you'll see people get the goblin, right, instead of a lineman, and then you can get your 3rd reroll. Maybe I'm not entirely sure. I don't really play orcs because I'm not boring. But
I've just seen the name. I've just seen the name of the team, and I was like, yeah, okay. Actually, our reaction it did its job. Yeah, we are enraged.
We are enraged, and the theme is good. The theme is good, I think we can all agree with that. It's a good, strong theme, strong team.
Rearrange it, please.
Really want a custard cream now.
Not making our eyes bleed.
My little lad actually is baking black pepper cookies, though, and they're not on there, so that's it.
Black pepper cookies?
Oh, they're beautiful, mate.
Is that some Welsh nonsense?
Probably.
Jesus. All right,
they're gorgeous. They basically taste like cookies with pepper in. They're lovely.
Yeah, that's not so.
I like spice with things, so that makes sense to me.
God, there's enough spice in my life. Look, we're waffling so much that even Fritch wants to move on. So, let's oblige. So last team in this league is Jack's Eshen's Urchins.
Urchins, and
Jack's Rats. Jack's
Brats. It's all named after certain parts of the body. Fibula, brain, capillary, liver, spleen. Okay.
Yep.
All the parts of an urchin, I guess.
There's a capital missing on that capillary, Jack.
Very good point. Jesus Christ, Jack.
I mean, it's a fairly standard build, isn't it?
This is your standard build, yes. There's not really much else to say about this. You can not have 4 gutter runners so that you've got a little bit more beef on your team. Obviously,
Why
4
would you
gutter
not
runners.
Want 4 gutter runners?
Well, because if you don't want to start with 4 guys who are strength 2 on a tier 1 team, you can do that. But I mean, I wouldn't know because I can't stand Skaven.
I've played like quite a bit of Skaven recently. I can understand. I think I started. Did I start with 3? I think I started with the 3, and I can understand why I want to do 4 because having that much agility and that much ability to get round and like find those. It's like if you have any hint of being an elf coach, that's probably when you start with the 4 because if you know how elves run, you can run a bunch of gutter runners.
Yeah,
you just find one hole and you're through. Absolutely cancerous, but.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the fact that you've got 4 of them, right? If you need to score quickly, you send all 4 of them around the back and then get ready to throw a pass. Yeah. You're laughing, yeah.
Exactly.
But that's Skaven. There's not really much else to say about that. But this is a very difficult division, I think. I don't think it's the most difficult division, but it is definitely up there.
I wouldn't want to be in this division. There's some quality coaches in here.
There is some quality coaches in here.
I don't think there's a single coach in here that isn't a veteran.
Yeah. This is the veteran division.
Yeah.
In terms of who do I? In terms of like say if we're going to pick in a top 3 or a top 4,
You'd have a hard time, man.
I'm thinking, never mind Nirvana, because Dark Elves are strong and Kev's a strong coach. I think Guards, because Sean is a very experienced coach, and Dwarves are strong early. And I think probably Dave's Necros, because again, he's a good coach, and having that early claw in this league is gonna be huge against Khemri, Dwarf, and Orc teams.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go a little bit different. I agree with the Dark Elf pick because as a starting roster, yes, they're strong. When they're starting, they are just strong because they've got that extra arm, they've got the agility, they've got all the bits they need to get going. Quite easy out the gates. I'll probably agree with a pick on David as well with the Necromantic because again, very strong coach. I've seen him play him. He does pretty well. The other one, though, is I wouldn't go with Sean because he's an elf coach, so therefore he deserves to not win.
You say taking elves yourself?
Yeah, Fritz, come on.
I would. We're going to get to that, and we'll explain why later on.
Would you put the Skaven in there then?
No, I'm going to go with my heart. And go with my soul and go with my reason I got into this sort of business in the first place. I'm going to go with the Kislev.
You know, Fritz, just because you want something to be true doesn't mean that... I don't think you understand what a prediction is.
I believe!
I'm going to back you up and I'm going to go in with some logic and facts for you. To back up Fritz. Yeah, you know.
Go on then.
Kislev are terrible to start with, but teams they do against are immobile, slow teams. Khemri and Dwarfs are immobile and slow. And the other teams they do really well against, teams that want to pass it, Elves.
Mm-hmm. And also, think about it, additionally, the diving tackle plays very well against things that might dodge, i.e. Amazons.
So Emily?
A good coach behind a Kislev team, I think he can do it. I would probably say... I'd still give. I think still Sean's getting in there. I think actually Dave's going to suffer in this one. I think you're going to find Von Draken, Alex, Sean's going to do well, and I actually think Jack's going to do well.
Yeah, I think Jack will be in the mix too. What do you reckon, Emily?
But I wouldn't want to be in this division, man.
This is the moment where we test how much does she really love David.
Well, I know he's been playing a lot of Necromantic recently, so I know that it's. Did you hear that?
It sounded like a horrific noise.
Yeah, it was David yelling off the stairs.
What did he yell? More to the point.
He said, "Save me, you cow."
But I definitely don't back him now and have no
abuse. Yeah, no, that's it. Right, okay, so not David, no. I know he's been playing well, but I think it will get battered this season. How many? I think the Amazons might struggle a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. In this league with Dwarfs, definitely.
Yeah, if he gets Dwarfs, this game is gone.
I don't know. Maybe the Khemri as well, because like you say, Khemri struggle to pick up the ball, especially if it's raining or anything like that. So Khemri. So for top 3, I'm going to go with Dark Elf, Skaven. I think the Orcs could maybe do well.
Yeah, do you know what? I was just thinking the same thing, actually. We've completely discounted the Orcs, but he's a level 20 coach, and they're Orcs. You just can't say in this league, can you? It really is a difficult league.
This is a tricky one.
This is a difficult
one. David.
This one's going to be a good one. We're going to enjoy.
This is going to be a competitive league. Let's move on. I think we'll all just agree that one's a bit of an enigma. Let's take a look at Division 2C.
So I've got that coach Antitalk just like in my chat going just like pick me or I'll paint the pitch red with their blood.
So
we're on C, aren't we now?
Orcs Greenskins. This is a former champion. This is Sam. He's played Chaos Dwarf until now, and now he's playing Orcs because apparently he doesn't want to have anyone with low armor in his team. And this is another fruitily built Orcs. This is identical to the other one, except all the players are in order.
Yeah,
good.
Apart from the cat. Oh no, his throwers in an order. Actually, I should be this. I like this. I like this theme. You know, Orcs green things, and they're all famous Yorkshiremen. Quality.
yeah.
Apart from, you know, where Sean Bean. Why is he number 8?
Why is Sean Bean not a goblin? Because he needs to dive, right?
This is true.
But yeah, not really much else to say about this. Strong theme, strong coach. You'd expect him to be in the mix. It's a slightly fruity Orc build, but I've no doubt he can handle it. Please put that thrower after the... oh no, he has done. Sorry, my apologies. Yep, you're fine.
Apparently, is something that we haven't realised. I don't know how true this is, but apparently Sean Bean was 008. It was there a James Bond film with a 008?
Yeah. Didn't you play GoldenEye as a kid on the N64?
I didn't.
Oh, nightmare, man! Mind blown.
But there we go. Yeah, fair enough. I completely forgot that. That makes sense.
He dies in that too. Spoilers, but to be honest with you, it came out in 1995. If you haven't seen it by now, it's your own fault. So yeah, moving on.
If he doesn't die, you're like, what?
So this is Matt WG's team, and this is your standard. Well, kind of. Actually, this is a slightly fruity.
This is incredibly fruity.
Yeah.
This
isn't that fruity. This is one of the default ways to do it. You can do if you really want 2 runners and you really want to play a passing game. You can sort of do the 2 blitzer, 2 runner thing and pass with your witch elves.
One reroll though is that my butt puckers at that number.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I don't like the 2 witch elf start. I don't all the 2 runners. I'm not sure I like it.
He's mental. I like it.
It's about the lowest armor dark elf team that you can get, right? And the dark elf thing is that they have high armor for elves, and they're quite bashy for elves, right?
Yeah.
But having said that, it's the highest movement dark elf team that you can reasonably build.
It's true.
Yeah.
But it's a very high movement team, given that.
Well, it's not that high movement. It's just a bunch of 6s and a bunch of 7s. For elves,
they've got a lot more movement 7 pieces in this build, I think is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Well, one of the chat does make a very good point. There are 4 skills away from a third of the team having blodge.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
But you are anyway if you take 4 blitzers like a normal person.
That's also true. Yeah, I mean, I would at the very least probably get rid of a runner for a 3rd blitzer.
Yeah.
That's what I do because what are you going to do? What are you changing? You're having the same movement, the same strength, the same agility. You gain an armor value and you get block instead of dump off. So why not?
This is like Sam Unwin Dark Elves. This is.
I don't know. I kind of like this.
No, Sam Unwin would probably have taken no blitzers and the 2 assassins.
I'm looking at this and seeing a guy who's like, I want to try this, and I'm going to try it for the next 7 games. I'm going to see if it works, and I respect that.
I think one of those witch elves is going to die in the 1st or 2nd game.
I think he's going to. Oh, sorry. Go on, Emily. I totally cut you off there.
It's okay. I was just going to say, or it'll be like a niggle injury or something along those lines. Like I think something's going to happen to one of those witch elves.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you know what's going to happen? He's going to be like, ah, shit, I've got to save up for another Witch Elf instead of getting my 100k reroll.
Yeah, man. This could go badly.
I hope he doesn't change it. I want to see how that goes. I
really
really do.
See how it goes as well.
So, is everyone tired of Amazons yet? Because we've got another one. And yeah, this is...
the build.
Yep, so this is a... another standard Amazon build. Sensible choice. 4 rerolls, 1 apothecary. Not really much else to say about this. These are all default names, though, so shame on you for not naming your player.
Yeah,
shame.
But no, seriously, new coaches always forget to name their players. But it's Amazons. I'm really sorry. There's not really a great deal else we can say about this because we do have 4 Amazon teams. But you are this league's Amazons, so really your goal is to do better than the other Amazons in other leagues.
Yeah, I don't think you've got dwarfs in your league, so you're doing better.
We should have an award for best Amazon team this season.
By that logic, should have won last season for the best lizard team. It's the same thing.
We should have. They didn't deserve it.
It was the Tenderfoot Trophy, and Dave kind of won it.
Yeah.
Dave won that best lizard team. That's by default. But yeah, best Zon team. I'm on with that.
Yep. Okay. Well, moving on. Brett's all right.
Good, Brett.
So this is. I've forgotten her name. What is this lady's name who is playing this team? Oh, I've forgot the mix with someone else.
I'm not entirely sure.
Is it Rain? Is it Rain? I think it's Rain. I believe that the coach of this team is called Rain.
Yeah, Rain. It's popped up in my chat.
Yeah.
They're in my chat.
Apologies if I've mispronounced that, Rain, but the accent on the A, that's how I assume it's pronounced. Tell Fridge if I've done it wrong. I will adjust accordingly. But yeah, this is a pretty standards build, but the only thing that I think makes this slightly fruity is you would normally have a 3rd blocker instead of this lineman, which would take you up to 100k team value. But there's nothing wrong with this either. If you're saving up, another interesting thing you could do is drop the apothecary and get 3 rerolls. Because rerolls for sorry, I know I'm dominating the mic here, but just to finish off, rerolls for this team are really expensive, and they double like they do for all teams when you get into the main season. And 140,000 gold crowns for a reroll is a lot of money to save up.
It's big money. See, now I'm playing Brett's this season as well, and this build, I've when I first tried them, this is the build that I sort of went with, or something very, very similar. I think I took the rerolls over the apothecary, and I found that yes, you can perform really well on the blitzers, but the blitzers are still human, so they're still sort of kind of unreliable. They kind of carry the game. They are one of the best players you can get in the game, I think, as a starting unit, and you get 4 of them because they can just win the game on their own. But because of that, the entire rest of the team kind of feels useless, and you don't develop anything. They just hog all the SBP, and you stagnate, I think, a little bit. So it isn't necessarily the build I'd go with. It's a good build, and it will play well.
Yeah, there's certainly nothing wrong with it. It's not like we're not looking at it and thinking, what the hell is this? Oh, yeah.
I do like the naming, though.
That deserves a point. This is a really cool team roster. I'm a big fan of like Arthurian Knights and that sort of thing, so I'm kind of... I support this team. I'm a fan of this team in this division.
Yeah.
And it's all like, mathematical.
Mathematics as well, yeah.
It's still Arthurian, and I love it. It's great.
Yeah, nailed it. Nailed the theme. Strong theme, strong team.
Strong theme, yeah.
All right. Speaking of strong teams, it's another dwarf team, everybody.
Hey, here we go. The geek is going.
I like the naming convention. I don't know what the Moose's Knuckle.
The Moose's Knuckle is just...
You know what Moose Knuckle is?
I know what a Moose Knuckle is.
Yeah.
Does everyone... I don't get why they're Sid, Terry, Derek, and Richard.
Well, these are the names of the. These are the kind of names that I would expect a bloke who regularly uses the term moose knuckle to have. If I'm honest, yeah.
I think
like
he did.
Alan Derek kind of thing.
This, and he said it's basically people you would meet down at a pub.
Right.
Yeah.
And the moose knuckle is a pub.
I like it. There's like a lore. There's a lore to the fictional universe of this team. I like it.
I love it. Yeah.
Like it.
You did actually explain. Mick explained this to me, so yeah. But
yeah. Well, it's a standard dwarf build. It's the second standard dwarf build we've seen. Cool.
Yep.
Well, I say cool theme, interesting theme. Fair play. But let's move forward. Necros, the Necro All Stars. This is Tom's team. He's been.
Yep.
This is his ninth season out of 10. He had one season off, so he's one of the most well-travelled coaches in this league. And this is once again your standard
exactly
Necro build.
what you'd expect.
Yeah, this is the standard Necro build. This is like. Oh, didn't he go Necro last season as well? Or did he go Undead last
season?
He
was Undead last season.
And he was like, I liked that, but I want them to be ever so slightly worse. And so he but I don't know if you've noticed, but these are all undead puns for famous sports personalities, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, White York.
Yes, they are. Yeah,
White York is cool. Yeah,
Tom Brady, Antonio Drown, Rob County. I love it.
Yeah, that's some care that's been taken there.
Yeah, you've taken some care there. I like
good team. Good team.
Yeah, strong theme. Shadow Raiding Legends.
Oh god, not sponsored.
Yeah, not. Shadow Raiding Legends. I don't actually play the game, so I imagine there's like players from it, like characters from it.
I mean, this
is a gaming event.
I don't think so. No, I think he's just gone for a name that is a vague reference to a thing, and then has kind of given everything sort of.
Well, Raticut is a Pokemon. So...
It is a Pokemon, yeah, that's true. Splinter is the rat from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Remy is from Ratatouille.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's just
right.
It's
just rats from
it's
various
just famous
places.
rats from things, yeah. But yeah, this is your standard build, right?
Yeah, this is a pretty standard looking build. I mean, but it's four gutters, two vermins, thrower.
It's pretty much the same as the other one, isn't it?
It is identical to the other one, yeah. I mean, the other thing that you can do, right, is have a rat ogre and less rerolls or less gutter runners.
Mm.
That's the other thing that you see some people do, but yeah.
Or more rats. Because they're armor 7 at the end of the day.
Yeah. He's named his players, and it's an interesting theme. That's what counts. Okay, here we go. This is Steve Cross. Steve's arguably the most experienced Blood Bowl coach in the league. Which is good because he's taken ogres, which should hopefully take the edge off a little bit
as well. And he's gone fruity.
To be honest with you, I've played quite a lot of ogres, and this is how I prefer to build ogres.
Also, to be fair, he's not playing salmon when fruity.
Yeah, that's not quite that fruity. It's not just a bunch of
fruity, but then there's that fruity.
I really like the theme.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Iron Ogre, Captain America Ogre, Black
Wild Ogre.
And then Hulk.
Yeah, that's cool.
You could have put Ogre or something like that, but no, Hulk.
So I like the 5 Ogre 2 reroll build. I think if you can hold back on wasting rerolls, you just about make it with 2. And starting off with 5 ogres, if all 5 of those ogres behave themselves in a turn, your opponent's going to have problems dealing with them. And,
but do they ever?
Well, they do some turns. I mean, if you have a turn 1 where your ogres on the line behave themselves, you get a blitz with an ogre. Yep. That's not an insignificant amount of mighty blow that you're throwing at someone there. But most importantly, starting with 5 means you're only 140k away from 6.
Yeah, but you're only 140k having more rerolls.
Yeah, no, but you don't need them. You don't need them. Like you don't want to be you don't really want to be re-rolling boneheads unless you really have to, because you'll be re-rolling boneheads till the cows come home.
You're 1 in 9 in every block. 1 in 9 every block's gonna need a re-roll because you don't have block, and you know.
Well, I mean, maybe, yeah. It doesn't come up too often, and I don't mind taking if you're sensible, right? If you do your positioning stuff first, you shouldn't be using rerolls on Noblars because they can dodge in and out quite easily. And I don't mind taking a both down to end my turn with an ogre when I've got armor 9 and mighty blow. So I would rather have that. I would rather have 5 of those guys, take some both downs, and only have 2 rerolls, so that I can quickly get to my 6th ogre. I don't really. I mean, you're playing ogres, right? You don't. This isn't Wood Elves.
You're not taking it serious.
You don't want to be spending all your time being meticulously using rerolls. You're here for the memes and you want to smash stuff.
Yeah, true.
I like the 5 ogre build. It's the ogre build that I always use. So nah. Right.
Yeah.
What do we think, guys? I would say that this is probably, this one's a difficult one, isn't it? Because we've got 2 coaches that we don't know that well. We've got one coach who literally was a part of the playtesting group for the new edition, but he's playing ogres.
Yeah. Apparently, though, according to the chat, he's one of the best ogre players in the world, or something like that.
Oh, is he? Well, I imagine he's one of the best everything players in many regions.
Anyway, so it's for me in particular, I'd be going with. Again, it might be a Dark Elf scenario because they are good straight out the box. The Skaven for the high scoring part of it, because if you actually
he's very good at scoring.
Yeah, because hell, the Skaven. Then I might say Mr. Cross again because he is just a very, very good coach. And even with ogres, he can still be a threat.
Do you know what? I agree that he's a good coach. I can't see ogres making the top 3. If I'm honest, I can see them getting. I can see them getting a respectable mid-table finish. I think the Orcs are going to be in there. He's a champion. He's experienced. He's playing Orcs. I think that we'll probably see the Dark Elves up there because. Oh, actually, no, but he's got that fruity build, hasn't he? I think I think the Necro will be in the mix because he knows what he's doing, and there's a lot of stuff that Claw can deal with here. And I think the third team will probably be the Skaven because they're Skaven.
They're Skaven.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a point that this is the division that an Amazon team's coming out of. That Amazon team is in a good division for Amazon to play in. There is no starting tackle. There is nothing that
dwarf. There's a dwarf team right there, mate.
Mind ignore me. Forget what I just said. I'm completely wrong.
Okay. Emily, what do you reckon?
I never want to go against Steve Cross, so I get he is one of the best football players that I am aware of. So I don't want to underestimate his ability to play ogres, and if what Fritch's Twitch chat is saying is true, and he's one of the best in the world, then okay, then yeah, don't want to go against that. I think the Skaven will do well, and I think the Orcs will be the third team. Come out of it.
Fair enough. I think everyone agrees Orc and Skaven are going to be in the mix, though. All right, well, that was, I think, C. We're on to D now. We're nearly there, guys. We're most of the way through it.
If anyone make a note of what the chat's saying, a lot of the chat is screaming for the Bretts on that one.
On geometry.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Bretts are one of those teams that you don't see much of. They're not officially supported by Games Workshop, and you don't tend to meet players that play them a lot.
True. And let's face it, Fend's a pain in the dick.
I was something in between Orcs and Bratts, to be honest. So yeah, I can see the Bratts going through.
So this is definitely objectively the best team in the league, the Half Blings. So
the coaches in the chat. Here we go.
So I've had a couple of chats with this dude, and they've told me that they're relatively new to Blood Bowl. But they play halflings, so respect for that. It's the most fun race, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
So I've played a lot of halflings, a hell of a lot of halflings. It's definitely my main race. It's Emily's main race as well. We've got 2 fling coaches here. This is an interesting fling build because you've got there's 2 sort of, I guess, attitudes when building flings. You can go for the really minimalist build, or you can go for the let's get around 850 to 900 TV build. As a halfling coach, you want to have 100k in inducements minimum, because that will get you the Master Chef, and that will get you to steal rerolls. So you could get a couple extra halflings in here and get your team value around about 820, 850. The other thing you could do is drop a reroll and drop some halflings and get your TV down to 600 where you can then induce both Deep Root and the Master Chef, but that is a really difficult thing to pull off, and you have to really know what you're doing because it can go very wrong very quickly. This is somewhere in the middle. There's nothing inherently wrong with that at all. I'm assuming that what we've got here is a stadium upgrade, right? Because there's 50k left in the bank.
There is a Nuffalota.
Now that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, Nuffalota is a really sensible purchase. That means that this coach can induce. So if they're playing at home in their first game, it's entirely possible that at a minimum they'll be able to get the Master Chef and maybe Zara the Slayer.
Yeah.
You have like me, and I think at my first season of Flings, there were 12 games or something. My first 6 games, I was not at home. So I could use it for ages, and then I finally could.
Well, let's have a look, shall we? Let's take a quick look. So, no, they are away to me in game 1. Sorry about that. My apologies.
I do agree, though, that I would actually take off a couple of halflings and drop to 2 rerolls to get that lower value. But it is a risk to do that, so it's really up to how you like to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Build. I like the 660 build.
660 can work, but this is a sensible safe build. I think there's enough chaff on the bench, and that 50k in the bank, you can get an extra halfling in with that if things go south. But yeah, it's halflings. And these have definitely been named manually. I would imagine because they are not English. Well, some of them are. Garrett Broccoli, yeah. I don't know what's going on here. Actually, is this just like
Garrett Schnell?
Yeah, Garrett Schnell. Is this how the names are generated in your local language for your version of Blood Bowl, or is this something that you've done?
It's flying chick, doesn't it? Han's flying chick.
Yeah.
Hans flying chick.
Did you really need the bad German accent for it?
Yeah, I feel like I just feel like it felt natural. How can like a tall oak?
So moving forward, we've got a Norse team. This is Skillamack. Where do I know that name?
This is Scylla.
This is Scylla's team, yeah. Okay, so Scylla's gone for the Yeti start, which is always entertaining. Yetis and no blitzers, which is one of the many. I think Norse have probably got more accepted starting builds than any other team.
Yeah,
because in essence, think about it, their linemen can just be doubled up as blitzers because they've all got block.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's fine.
This is definitely a surfing and killing setup with the Yeti and the Ulfs.
Yeah, and runner got a thrower. The chat has a good point. Thrower, but no berserkers.
I like the berserkers, but I do like the runner. The runner gives you a bit of versatility, I think.
Yeah. You can do without the berserkers, to be honest. They've all got they have a tendency to frenzy trap themselves a little too easily, and if you're not careful. So I think this is a good build. This is a strong build.
Yeah, this is going to be a very cool one to watch, especially since Scylla. So, I mean, how new is Scylla to Blood Bowl? This is again.
I don't think she's overly new to Blood Bowl. Well, she's certainly not overly new to like tabletop games and stuff. But I think to be fair, I think she's fairly. It's been a long time since she's played. If that makes sense.
No, that's good.
A wild card. That's what I like to hear.
A wild card. Yes, we like that.
All right, well, let's take a look at. Oh, these are mine. So, Alex, this is how I recommend you build your Wood Elf team. This is the standard Wood Elf build. So, 2 War Dancers, a Catcher, a bunch of Linemen, and 2 rerolls. Could entirely possibly drop some rerolls and a War Dancer and get a tree or something, but no, thank you. And this is kind of, I feel like I've been a bit lazy with this, but I've basically done a kind of, because it's Captain Burns' Easy Treesies, I've done like a sort of Wood Elf pirate mashup.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah, Rear Admiral Arspbiscuit. Yeah. Lifeboat Lothlorien. Yeah.
Look out, Liz
Tyler.
Yeah, it's meant to be Liv Tyler, actually. I don't know why it says Liz, but I like it as Liz, so I think I'm going to leave it.
It's alright. You've got a. You can change. You can change it before the start of the season.
No, I'm going to leave it as Liz. I think it's a talking point. It's a talking point. But yeah, Wood Elves. What can I say? They're all armor 7.
Yeah.
Probably going to get hammered.
This could go badly.
I mean, up against Flings in my first game, so those trees are going to take some stuff out.
Yeah, probably. I went against you. We did a friendly because obviously I'm doing an elf team as well, and you beat me 2-0 because you utilise those war dance as well. I think you might be a bit of a darker horse than you might think yourself.
I mean, I've played quite a lot of Wood Elves, so I sort of vaguely know what I'm doing with them.
He's here to prove that Wood Elves aren't crap.
This is a pretty good league for Wood Elves, I think, but we'll talk more about that later. Atticus 69 with Dark Elves, the Dark Mavericks. That is another username that I definitely recognise. I'm really sorry, I'm terrible at this.
Yeah, he's been in. I don't think he was in the last season. He might have been the season before. That's why I
recognise that name as well.
Yeah, I definitely recognise that name. Yeah, sorry to whoever you are. But this is this is another.
Same with the runner. I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's the same build as before. There's no Witch Elf.
Yeah, well, no, that is a way to do it, though, isn't it? Because if you take the Witch Elf, you have to drop a Blitzer. If you want 4 Blitzers, you can't have a Witch Elf.
Okay.
Or you take a reroll down.
Yeah, but then you have to start with one reroll.
Yeah, reroll is dangerous.
Actually, I think this is a pretty sensible way, because the reason I like this build is A, you've got 2 rerolls. B, you've got 4 Blitzers. C, if you do have a Witch Elf, she tends to hog all your SPP because you're always scoring with her and stuff. So with this, you can get some SPP on your Blitzers and save up for a Witch Elf.
Yeah, that's fine.
I would still prefer a Line Elf rather than the runner.
It's the developmental build.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I mean, having the runner in there gives you versatility, though, doesn't it?
And a bit more speed.
A little bit more speed, a little bit less armor. I don't know.
It's easier to go down, and what you're going to give it other than the block that you're going to give the.
Oh, but they get access to general agility and passing. Wow, they've gone up in my reckoning there. Do you know what?
That's a good point.
I wouldn't even use him as a runner. I'd use him as a thrower if he gets access to passing. Yeah, I'd quarterback with him. I'd just give him like pass and then accurate.
And dump off means if you do manage to sack him and there's someone stood near, you're possibly not getting the ball back.
Here's a good point. Say, my chat has flagged up another good point. They're very good at that because they're probably better than me. Runners are Antarctica is saying the runners are a perfect anti-strip ball.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Of the dump off. As soon as you try and get the strip ball kicks in, it's like no, go that way.
Yeah, but so is sure hands.
So is sure hands true, but you can give it sure hands and you can give it sure hands as well. So if it's just a push, you 5, you get powered, then you dump off.
No, you have to check dump off before you get punched.
Oh, do you? Oh, yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
don't pick sure hands.
This is the second time today we're having this debate, so let's move. Move forward. Okay. This is a new one, Dr. Morbidino. I like that. I don't know who you are, Doctor.
And he's gone for the underworld.
Yeah.
Love it.
Warpstone Athletico, good name, like it. And these are all named. These have all been named. I like this a lot. Corpable Nibbler.
I mean, it's the standard. It's the standard build. You've got the troll. You've got the rats. 13-man roster. 2 rerolls.
Yep. Sensible. And the thing, do you know what I think? I feel like Underworld are always like a dark horse race in this because you can do really well with them.
They can pull shenanigans.
Yeah, they can pull massive shenanigans.
They can also die.
Max, however, does make a valid point. Would you cut a goblin for a reroll?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially given that they're 70k. Like they're going to go up to 140k. It's the same thing with the Bretts, isn't it? That's a very expensive third reroll once the season begins.
Yeah. Agreed. But
level 20 coach though, so they know what they're doing. You can reasonably assume. Yeah, cool. I'm looking forward to. I always like seeing Underworld. They're always fun.
They're fun.
Yeah, they always are fun. So next we have the
Moon Milkers from Snowstorm. This is another new coach.
Another new coach, another gent who's in the chat. Say hello, mate. It's let's have a quick gander at this.
Fruity builds. This is a fruity build.
One ghoul.
Yeah, okay. So that's unusual. Obviously, the standard way is to drop a reroll, drop the ghoul, and get another werewolf.
Yeah, but it gives you an extra reroll.
It does give you an extra reroll, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with this at all. At all. If you can,
I like it.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad at all. The thing is, ghouls only look bad at the side of werewolves, but actually, they're very good pieces. They're movement 7. Yeah. They can pick up the ball. They've got dodge. They can hold their own in a fight with dodge and strength 3. Absolutely nothing wrong with this build.
Less.
And if I'm not mistaken, they have just general access anyway. So you just level them up. You got a natural, almost a near natural blodger.
Instant blodger.
Well, that's the great thing about ghouls. They're versatile, right? You can give him sure hands and make him a ball carrier. You can give him blodge, and then if you get a double mighty blow and you've got a blitzing piece, there's all sorts of stuff you can do with him. I think, to be honest with you, the only downside, the real downside to not taking your 2 werewolves at the start is that if things go south for you, you're never going to save up 120k to get your second werewolf.
Yeah.
And werewolves are very easy to skill up because of the claw, because of how fast they are, because they can handle the ball. And whereas flesh golems aren't. So if you've only got 1 werewolf skilling up, your flesh golems generally take an entire season just to get 1 skill. I don't know. I wouldn't do this, but there's definitely nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
he says he's quite new. So
yeah, he said he is quite new. And
do you know what? This is probably better then, because 3 rerolls for a new coach, it's a bit more forgiving.
It's a good idea.
Exactly. 3 rerolls can be very forgiving.
Having more rerolls when you're new is sensible.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, agree.
Cool. I look forward to seeing him play.
Big Mac 666, the satanic cheeseburger. Leeds United, what a brilliant name.
Yeah,
love it.
Absolutely.
And look, it's all Leeds United players with James Kilner. Fantastic.
No, only disclaimer here. Only Ben would know that. I don't think anyone.
Jimmy Floyd Hassel Punch. I love it.
That's I like these.
Yeah, I approve of this. Harry Kilwell, nice.
So
I mean, they were all Leeds players from when Leeds were quite good at football.
Yeah. I mean, they're still pretty. Well, what
they've got better.
Oh, they're in League One now, aren't they? Leeds? I'm not sure.
They're Premiership now.
Oh, yes. Are they? Right. All I know is they're not in the same division as me, Forests.
Yeah.
but you know, Macclesfield Town are in a division.
Well, we're not a million miles away from football here, Emily. I think it's roughly, you know, well, they're both sports.
That's a stretch, you know it.
Moving swiftly on from matters of real life, apparently.
Yeah, so this is the second human team we've seen that doesn't have a catcher. Very unusual that. I honestly, I know you disagree, Ewan, but I honestly think that you need that catcher. That they're so good. Like I'll have 3 or 4 of them on a human team.
No, the other human team did have the catcher. This is the first one that doesn't. But
there's definitely a human team
I would run.
Oh, did it? Yeah. Oh, that's it. The other one didn't have any throwers, right? Yeah. This is definitely a way to build humans.
I would take this build. This is 100%. I would take this build.
Fair enough.
Well, I wouldn't.
Well, there you go.
I mean, I'd even be tempted to drop the thrower, take the other lineman, and go for the 4th reroll.
Yeah, or an apothecary. I don't know. Those throwers are great though. They are quality value. The sure hands is, if you can get it, is a starting piece. Really good to have. Yeah. And the fact that they've already got pass means you can give them accurate as the first skill, and you're well on your way to having a quarterback. So I love human throwers. I think they're fantastic.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
good team. Good theme.
Bloody chaos dwarves. Really?
Sam,
because someone had to take them.
Yes.
Oh God! What a sacrifice this poor young man has made. It's like up there with World War One.
I'm loving the naming scheme though. So a typical night out: the huggy one, the dancer one, the passed out one, the shit chatting one, the Larry one, the chill one, the mate one, the Larry. You got 2 Larry ones. You got 2.
Damn.
48 out. The hypo one, the feely one.
The feely one. Yeah. If you've got a mate who's a feely one, please keep him in check.
Yes.
So it's your standard, right? Because why would you ever take a Minotaur with this roster?
Yeah. You wouldn't.
You want that. You want as many of those dwarfs as you can.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it's your standard. Well, let's not beat about the bush. It's your standard
Let's just
build.
not dwell there.
Yeah, let's talk top 3, shall we? So, I reckon we'll probably be seeing. I think the Chaos Dwarf will be in there.
Yeah.
I think the Dark Elf coach, who is level 20, I think they'll probably be up there, and I'm expecting probably the. Well, this one's a tough one actually. I think the humans will probably be getting up there. I don't know. I don't want to. No, I don't back myself though, because Wood Elves. I'm not that good at Blood Bowl anyway, and Wood Elves have a tendency to fall apart. I don't know. Maybe I'll be up there.
I think the human coach is going to do well. I think those Chaos Dwarfs are going to do well, and I think you might do well.
Yeah.
I think the halflings are going to do well. I believe in the halflings.
I think this is a league where there's a lot of coaches that we don't know, so it's difficult to say anything. Here. And there's also, I would say, the fact that, and I swear to God I didn't do this, but it was all purely randomly done, but the fact that we've got Underworld and Halfling, two lower tier teams, makes this one of the slightly easier leagues.
This is going to be one of the most chaotic divisions.
Yeah.
This could go lots of places.
I'd like to see the Halflings do well. I'm supporting the Halflings in this league.
I'm supporting the Halflings, but I'd say in terms of like top 3. Oh, Emily, what's your top 3? I think you were going to say it.
My top 3. I believe the Halflings can do it. Like even.
Go on!
Against Chaos Dwarf or Necromantic, you can have a lot of fun with them. All you need is like a good couple of 1-turn touchdowns and you're through. So I believe in Halflings. Other than that, I think the Chaos Dwarfs are going to be a problem. With the tackle.
Well, they're going to get massive level up against those Halflings and those the Underworld, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know who they're going against first, but. That could be a big thing because, like, for example, we had the situation last season where Sam Unwin ran an entire team of Snotlings, and then first game was against a Norse team. And how many SPP did the Norse get? 30.
More than they get in most seasons.
Yeah, exactly. A similar effect might happen.
I think Halflings. I think Chaos Dwarf and. Underworld.
Emily's gone quiet.
Underworld.
Oh, well, that was very esoteric picks right there.
I tell you the truth. I closed my eyes and told myself to stop.
Right. Okay. I don't think some of you in here really understand what a prediction is, but you know, as long as you're having fun. Do you know what though? The Halflings, their first game is against Wood Elves, and as a Halfling coach, I would love that. I'd be like, great. I'm gonna kick Wood Elves in the face with Mighty Blow Trees. I'm gonna knock Wood Elves down and foul on them, and Wood Elves don't want to fight me, so I'm not overly concerned about losing too many flings. So I think the Halflings are in a good spot there. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to our final division.
I think you'd be my 3 cheap stuff. Just leave me out of it.
So Graham has joined us as dwarfs because he's so there you go. That's the one runner build that you can get with dwarves. Because you don't really need more than one. It's not like you're going to throw a pass to one of them. It's not like you're going to put him in your cage, because why would you when you can have guys with block on the corner? And your cage can only move as fast as your Longbeards.
It's not like I played a dwarf team that was the most prominent passers in Division 1 last season, was it?
You played the elfiest dwarf team I've ever seen.
They were brilliant. I loved it.
You're the exception that proves the rule, Ewan. Yeah, this is the other way to build dwarves, and then you've got a 50% chance to get your apothecary if you roll 40k or above on a d6 after your first game. This is how I would build a dwarf roster. That's what I'd
probably
go
a bit more because you might get the fame.
Yeah, quite possibly. But yeah, there's definitely nothing wrong with that. And you know, well, Graham knows what he's doing, doesn't he?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to play him.
I love the clearly salt-based naming convention. Just roll 2+, and then call them 2 war dancer, 2 catcher, and throw a line up. It's like, Funny that.
Good luck with that, Graham. So, office politics. This is Connor returning.
This is the return of Connor.
Yep, this is the return of Connor.
And the return of Bob the Lost. All hail.
So this is an interesting choices here. So he's gone for the apothecary rather than the second reroll. I mean, I'm never a fan of that. I would, especially on chaos, right, where you've got no core skills.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely have gone for the extra reroll, but I can also understand why you'd go with the apothecary.
Yeah. I think as soon as you start, you're like, as soon as the season starts, those team rerolls go up to 120k. So and the Apo will so it's I can understand why most people will go for the 3 rerolls, but I can still respect the Apo as a first pick, because I guess it depends on. I mean, we'll look at the team. Let's go back. I'm going to go back and look at the teams just to double check what we're going against. I mean, it's not like an overly bashy sort of team, is it? I mean, it's a set of.
Team well, there is a lot of stuff that can kill you here, but I think. But look, put it this way: it boils down to this. Yeah, if one of your Chaos Warriors dies in game 1, you're going to be glad that you got the apothecary. If none of your Chaos Warriors die in game 1, but you keep getting turnovers because you roll both downs, then you're going to wish you got the reroll. Right? It's that simple. I think that the latter is more likely to happen than the former. But if the former happens, you've gambled and won, and that's what it is—a gamble, right?
Victory is yours.
Yeah. Enough said. Elven Union.
Hello,
democracy. Go on then, Fritch.
Democracy manifest. Yeah, I was forced into this unceremoniously by.
You agreed to it, and then you knew this would happen.
You agreed.
I know.
And then we did a poll to decide what kind of elf team you would be playing.
And
maybe Fritch isn't able to be too objective about this, but for the benefit of Fritch's viewers, Fritch for seasons has been saying that elves are easy, anyone can win with elves, it's 2-ups, etc., etc. And the response has always been no. You've got to really know what you're doing to do well with elves. So we've now forced Fritch to take a season of elves where he basically can't win because either he does poorly, thus proving that they're hard, or he does well, which means that he must admit that they were easy and he didn't really do well.
Yeah, exactly. I am in a no-win situation at this point. But I as far as I'm aware, I don't know if I did do anything like weird, but this looks pretty standard.
I think this is pretty standard.
This is pretty standard as far as
you've got all your positionals. You've got a solid team, 2 rerolls, apothecary. I mean, what's not to like?
Yeah. This is just standard. I mean, in terms of naming convention, just a democracy manifest made sense considering it was decided on by democracy. Apparently, I say apparently, hence why the other names go stop the count and the dead voters. So yeah.
There it is. Our Elven Union.
Good old pro elves, and I'm sure I'm going to hate myself by the end of it.
Well, here is another member of this. Is it a podcast that we're doing now? Let's go. Podcast. Another member of this podcast's crew here. We've got Ewan, and this is the standard build for Brett's, of course.
It's a developmental build, yes. This is planning on.
Do you want to elaborate?
Yeah. Oh, you want to level up you want to level up in blockers.
Oh, hang on, wait a minute. This isn't the standard build for Brett. You've got 4 blitzers. What am I on about?
This is the complete. This is the leveling build. So this is my standard build for Brett's, and the reasoning is that I won't block on all 4 of them blockers.
And you've got some chaff as well.
So I've got chaff. So I've got the extra fouler for fouling. I am going to foul. Fouling is what you do. Fouling is how you win. Fouling.
Hang on a minute. Isn't block a bit pointless when you've already got?
So
yeah, when you
guard. Sorry.
Or is it like
guard?
Oh, guard. Right, I was going to say
because you get strength access on the blocker, right? So you want guard. You want stand firm. If you get doubles, you want jump up.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I like that. I mean, you've got a plan. That's the main thing, right?
Yeah, and then you can start leveling your blitzers, but you need to get all 4 of them blockers up to guard before you start touching the blitzers. The blitzers are there to punch things early on.
I've no doubt
they will run away with all
wrong.
of your SPP. Everything goes wrong. What happens is I generally roll doubles on every foul that I make and end up with like 5 players by the end of the game.
All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that
plan.
you have a plan that you don't expect to succeed. Let's have a look at these Zons. This is another new coach, I believe. It's certainly a level 1 coach. This is again the standard Amazon build.
Yeah.
I think these are
These are
generated names as well.
No, these are not. These are Magic the Gathering cards.
Oh yeah, so they are. I'm glad you were here to point that out.
Amazon Primers.
Yeah, that would have. Amazonian Primers. Very clever, very smart. Yeah, good stuff. I mean, I'm really sorry to whoever you are if you've skipped forward to see us talk about you. You are now the 4th Amazon team that we've looked at, and
you're exactly the same as the other 3.
Yeah, that's right. Well, one of them was fruity, right? And the other, and 2 of the other ones, yeah. But yeah, this is your standard Amazon build, as we've already said several times, and yeah, sensible way to go. Let's move on. Undead.
Emily, what did you say just then?
It's in your chat.
Oh,
he's in the chat.
Right.
Chat.
Oh, he's in the chat. Oh yeah.
He was aware there was a lot of Amazon.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Although now we have mentioned that you're in the chat, so that's distinguished your Amazon team from all the other ones. Plus, it's a good, Amazonian Primers. It's smart.
Good name.
So we've got an undead team here. This is Andy's undead team, and this is the other way to build an undead team. This is the kind of safe way to build an undead team. You've got less ghouls to worry about.
Isn't it?
This is the classic. This is what it says on the back of the box if you buy them from Games Workshop.
Yeah. You've got your Founding Skelly, you've got your 2 ghouls, your 2 rights, your 2 mummies.
Yep.
What you do?
Yep. Pretty standard stuff. And you've got plenty of zombies to put on the line as well. You've got 3. You can put your 3 zombies on the line, and if one of them gets balked, you've still got 3 zombies to put on the line. Yeah. So pretty sensible build. Vestibulum Imperatus, I believe, is a 40k reference. I'm not too sure about that. But
I don't know what Grubby Gary's got to do with 40k.
Well, Grubby Gary is he's the Emperor's best mate, right? In 40k lore.
What, along with Mucky Mark?
Yeah, I might be wrong. I don't know. I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that I don't do 40k. 40k's for children.
Paul though. Putrescent Paul.
Putrescent Paul, Rotten Rick, Bone Idol. It's an undead team. You'd expect him to do all right. Wellard, Zimlock already played a bunch of seasons. I think we've had.
What a surprising looking.
What is going on with these Dark Elf teams?
We haven't seen a single Dark Elf team that's like the one that everyone does, which I like. This makes things interesting.
I've seen one Witch Elf
this way, which is really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I like this. I honestly prefer this. If I were to play Dark Elves, this is totally what I would do, because I want to get SPP on my blitzers before I get a Witch Elf. Witch Elves are expensive. They're low armor. They die. They hoggle your SPP. I don't see the attraction of them, really.
Kill them.
Fair enough. Yeah.
You start with dodge and jump.
Yeah, but you love dodge. You love dodge a lot more than me.
That's true.
Yeah, they're just a target to be stood on.
Yep. So, what I like though is the theme. We've got things that are hard. Yeah. So, Kevlar, graphene, tungsten.
Diamond.
These are all bookie paper. I don't know what that is.
Ultra high density polyethylene.
Metallic glass. Someone's a scientist. Ooh. But other than that, it's one of the Dark Elf builds. The one that we've seen the most of.
I'm still siding with two-toned, although I do like Bleed United.
Bleed United is a cool. Yeah, I like that name. That is cool. And finally, this is Matt, one of the admins. Yeah. One of the commish. Going for what I think most people would agree is the standard. Yeah, I don't know. This is the sort of the default.
I thought your default was 3 and more thralls.
No, 3 is the 4 is the sort of default one, and 3 is the I've done this a lot one.
Yeah.
I just thought you want to bite. You want more things to bite. You are literally the worst team at getting injuries because you don't only just get injured by the opponent's armor 7, you get injured by your own players.
So, look, think about it this way, right? If you're a first-time vampire coach and you're thinking, what's the most sensible way to spend 1,000,000 gold crowns? This is what you come up with, right? I want 4 of the really good guys that are going to be really good, and I can get 4 rerolls, and I can have an 11-man roster, which makes this the kind of first build that coaches arrive at. And then
there's a reason that people don't keep playing it.
They can either manage it, they can use their rerolls to manage it, and get 4 fairly well-developed vampires, and save up some cash, and get a few extra thralls early. Or it doesn't work for them because the vampires are too unreliable and they decide to drop down to 3 vamps and have some extra thralls. But there's nothing wrong with either one of them. They're both perfectly legit builds. And if you can make this work for you, great.
4 rerolls.
Yeah. You've basically said, I'm going to have rerolls instead of thralls. And there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah. That makes sense. I'm for that sort of build as well. I mean, it's a high risk one because if you do have if your first game is a bit shit and you do Bloodlust every other one, then you're gonna go through your thralls fast.
Yeah, you're gonna eat your team.
You're gonna eat your team, and because you're vampires, that's just sort of what happens. I think the biggest kudos in terms of this team, from what I see here, has to be the naming convention again. The hip thirsters and having a lot of Brewdog beers.
Yep.
And then. He doesn't play in this league. I don't know if he ever will, but that top name.
What, Will's played in it in the past. He's played Goblins 2 seasons.
He's played in the past. He's not played. It hasn't seen him in a while, but that is as soon as I saw Willis Peveril, I was like, oh yeah.
Also, the team logo, the team emblem is kind of appropriate as well. I quite like.
Yeah, I quite like that as well. Yeah.
All right, well, that's all 8 teams in 2E. So, what do we think?
Ooh,
Graham's going to win.
Graham will definitely be in the mix, no doubt about it.
You know what? I'm going to go against it because literally, we always say this, and he always does really badly. it's like he always gets some sort of shit.
Yeah, but you're going to make him do well by not. Fritch, get with the program, man.
I mean, Graham's got a division that is nice for a dwarf coach, right? You've got Chaos, who've got no core skills, so you win, and then you've got a bunch of teams that all rely on dodge, basically. Undead, ghouls, dodge. Amazon all got dodge. Brett's, several of your pieces start with dodge, I believe, right?
Nothing starts with dodge.
Really? Oh, okay. Elves like to dodge.
Are the most annoying team to play against, though, if you're a dwarf, because of Fend.
Mm-hmm.
A team that's really, really slow being made even slower, that's a 0-0 draw.
Yep. Well, my prediction for this league is that we will have Graham, Fritch, and Ewan. So Dwarf, Elven Union, and Brett. So I think they'll be in some order will be in the top 3. But I would not be surprised if literally any of these other teams displaced 1 or 2 of those people. To be honest.
Yeah.
Except probably the Vamps.
Fritch is going to win because elves are really, really easy to play.
Yeah, Fritch is going to run away with it
even like somebody with the IQ of Forrest Gump can play elves effectively. So he's going to win. Graham will come second because he's Graham. I'll probably sneak third because I'll stand on somebody.
No matter what I say, I can't win. But I do, I do hope that I do well. And if I do start finding myself enjoying playing as an elf, I will write my own death warrant. And then in terms of in other 2, I wouldn't mind. Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing judging by how well Connor did with the last time he played as Chaos with his last Chaos team, it wouldn't surprise me if he did really well.
But he didn't have a shite first season.
He did have a shite first season, but he held on to it and it developed really well. But he still
it was quality in the second.
Yeah, it took a good swing round, and I guess Graham, for the sake of, I guess I want his team to die. It's just to cause some sort of pain.
You're so friendly, yeah.
Yeah.
Emily, any thoughts?
I think. I think the Chaos might do quite well. I think they might be able to pull through. I don't know how Fritch is going to do with elves. We'll see. See how easy he finds it.
He's going to win.
I think he's going to get battered.
That's the honest answer right there.
I didn't do too badly against you.
No, don't get me wrong. I still think you'll come in the top 3. I just think you'll get battered. I think you'll come in the top 3 and you'll have like 5 players in your roster.
Yeah.
And then you realise the thing that makes elves really strong is the fact that journeyman elves are really strong.
Yeah, they're still elves.
Yeah.
But then Dwarf and Bratz, I think, will do. Just because the other teams don't really have much to counter that.
Yeah, that Fritch, she totally cut you out there. You're
not
in Emily's top 3.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, I have played a lot of Bretonians. I've played them in 3 other leagues. I have played them a lot in Champs Ladder. I do know what I'm doing with them.
Well, look at you. And you're so modest about it as well, Ewan.
I'm going to do... No, so I'm going to do terribly.
Yeah, you're pretty shit bad. We do have quite a valid question. It's popped up in the chat, which I'm not sure about. Are all teams team coaches in Europe? Or at least...
Yes, they are. As far as I'm aware, they are. That doesn't mean we're not open to coaches from outside of Europe, but obviously, if you were to join from America or Asia or somewhere like that, you'd have to accept that you'd kind of need to be on a somewhat European sort of time to get your games in. You can't be expecting people to play at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah,
I wasn't sure.
That concludes this Smash of the Day. Thanks to anyone who tuned in. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you got a bit of enlightenment about who you're up against. And I would like to wish you all the very best of luck in the coming couple of months. And I hope to see some of you in the various playoffs and all of you again next season.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I've really enjoyed this. I'll be honest with you.
This has been a fun one.
This has been a good one, and having the live chat as well, and just to like throw his little curveballs, like, ooh, yeah.
It's added an extra element. It's been nice. But it's worth just saying that Fritch, Ewan, and I don't believe you stream these games, do you, Ben? On Twitch?
Not anymore, no, because I stream for a living, and so I don't really feel like doing it in my free time. If I'm honest with you.
So. Yeah, for everybody who's watching Fritch now, and who's not aware, we will put our links all in the group chat and in the Discord, so keep an eye out. And if you stream, you're more than welcome to as well.
You'll also find them, if you're watching on YouTube, below this video, you'll find them in the description if you want to give these guys a follow, etc.
Yeah. You'll mostly see that it's Emily and Fritch that do the streaming. I try to stream my games more than anybody else, than anything else, mainly because I work for money all of the time. And also Max does a lot of streaming as well, so it's probably worth.
Yeah, you can find streamers in the Discord server. I'm going to sign off on this video and hit the stop recording button now. So say bye everyone.
Goodbye everyone.
Bye YouTube.